incredible events are unfolding in the Holy Land, sending waves of awe and tension across the globe. Picture yourself at the Western Wall, the spiritual heart of Israel, where centuries of prayers have ascended. Now, imagine a blinding light suddenly piercing the sky, illuminating everything like a divine beacon. Its brilliance surpasses the sun's power, a sight that causes both wonder and trepidation. This startling phenomenon occurs as protests ignite across major cities: New York, Madrid, London, voicing dissent over the escalating Israel-Hamas conflict. Yet, amid this turmoil, something even more remarkable is unfolding within Israel's borders. Could this be a sign foretold in prophecy? Is this radiant apparition the long-awaited return of the Messiah, or perhaps a heavenly messenger heralding a significant shift in global history? The political landscape surrounding Israel has always been fraught with tension, as ancient prophecies describe the nations aligning against her. In this scenario, we are witnessing the merging of political unrest and the mysterious, making one wonder if these events align with the ancient visions of prophets like Ezekiel and Zechariah. Is this the dawn of a new era? For those pondering these questions and seeking understanding, stay with us as we delve into the meaning behind this extraordinary event. Could this be a sign of divine intervention in our times, or is it simply a natural wonder? As you continue watching, reflect on the implications of these remarkable developments. A strange light appears over Jerusalem, an event both magical and terrifying. Could this be a divine sign? Is it an omen of something greater to come? Jerusalem, a city that has stood at the crossroads of history for millennia, remains the epicenter of spiritual significance for billions across the globe. Today, the world is once again captivated by this holy city, not for its centuries-long conflicts or its political entanglements, but because of a celestial event that has sparked conversation, speculation, and fear across the world. To understand the weight of this phenomenon, we must first appreciate the extraordinary place that Jerusalem occupies in world history and prophecy. Jerusalem, known as the City of God, has long been the focal point of religious devotion, strife, and divine promise. This new sign of blazing light has emerged at a time when the world seems poised on the edge of monumental change. This leads to a natural question: is this a coincidence, or are we witnessing something prophetic? The importance of Jerusalem transcends mere geography or the physicality of its ancient walls. Politicians, theologians, and historians alike recognize the profound influence this city wields over both religious and global affairs. Historically, Jerusalem has been a battleground, a prize fought over by empires. According to historian Eric H. Klein, the city has been destroyed, besieged, attacked, and recaptured countless times, yet it remains resilient and revered. But what makes this city so fiercely desired, defended, and sacred? The answer lies in Jerusalem's spiritual significance. For Jews, it is the heart of their ancient covenant with God, the site of Solomon's temple, and the center of their future hopes of restoration. For Muslims, it is the third holiest site, home to the Al-Aqsa Mosque, where it is believed the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven during the night journey. For Christians, Jerusalem holds even deeper significance, as it is the setting of the most important events in the life of Jesus Christ: his crucifixion, resurrection, and the promise of his eventual return. The prophetic importance of Jerusalem is not new. Biblical texts, particularly in the Old and New Testaments, repeatedly place Jerusalem at the heart of God's plan for humanity. The prophet Isaiah, speaking centuries before the birth of Christ, said, "In the last days, the mountain of the Lord's temple will be established as the highest of the mountains, it will be exalted above the hills, and all nations will stream to it." Isaiah 2, verse 2. This verse hints at the universal significance of Jerusalem, not just for Jews but for all peoples. It's no surprise, then, that when strange occurrences like this celestial light take place, many turn their gaze toward this ancient city, wondering if these are the signs of something greater. The phenomenon of a mysterious light is not without precedent in religious history. The Bible is full of accounts where the heavens were used to communicate divine messages. Consider the Star of Bethlehem, which signaled the birth of Jesus, or the blazing fire over Mount Sinai, where God spoke to Moses. Throughout history, the sky has been a canvas on which divine messages are painted. Could this light over Jerusalem be another such message, signaling a new chapter in the unfolding divine narrative? Some of the world's greatest prophets and political thinkers have long pointed to Jerusalem as the stage for events that will shape the future of the world. In Christian eschatology, the belief is that the return of Jesus Christ will center around Jerusalem. Prophets like Ezekiel and Zechariah spoke of a time when Jerusalem would once again become the focus of the world's attention, heralding a time of divine intervention and judgment. Zechariah writes, "On that day, when all the nations of the earth are gathered against her, I will make Jerusalem an immovable rock for all the nations. All who try to move it will injure themselves." Zechariah 12, verse 3. This suggests that Jerusalem's fate is not merely tied to earthly politics but is entwined with cosmic, prophetic events. From a political perspective, Jerusalem's significance also cannot be overstated. It has been the subject of numerous peace talks, wars, and treaties. As the heart of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, it represents the broader struggle for control over Holy Land, resources, and sovereignty. Politicians have long wrestled with the challenge of bringing peace to this embattled city, but as history has shown, any solution must consider not only the physical land but also the spiritual significance it holds for millions. Yet, the appearance of a celestial light forces us to look beyond mere political conflicts. For centuries, prophets have warned that there would be signs in the heavens signaling the approach of the end times. Jesus himself spoke of such events in Matthew 24, "There will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars." On the earth, nations will be in anguish and perplexity at the roaring and tossing of the sea. The appearance of this light over Jerusalem raises the question, is this one of those signs? Are we moving closer to a pivotal moment in human history, where the spiritual and the political collide in the heart of Jerusalem? Throughout the ages, Jerusalem has been at the center of divine promise and human conflict. This celestial event reminds us that this ancient city continues to hold profound significance, not only for its residents but for the entire world. Whether this light is a supernatural sign, a mere coincidence, or a product of natural phenomena, its appearance in Jerusalem, a city imbued with millennia of prayers, prophecies, and divine expectations, cannot be dismissed lightly. Jerusalem has always been a city where the ordinary and the extraordinary merge, its streets echoing with stories of divine encounters that have shaped not only its history but the spiritual atmosphere that envelops it. For centuries, it has been a place where the supernatural presence of God is palpably felt, where miracles seem woven into the fabric of everyday life. Pilgrims from all over the world come to Jerusalem, drawn by this powerful spiritual pull, seeking a deeper connection to the divine. It is a city of unparalleled significance, rich in prophetic history, and a testament to the enduring relationship between the Creator and His creation. The resilience of the Israeli people is a story of faith forged in the crucible of adversity. From their exodus out of Egypt to their exile in Babylon, to the modern trials of the Holocaust, the people of Israel have endured persecution, displacement, and unimaginable suffering. Yet their faith remains unshaken. They have maintained a deep connection to their spiritual heritage, believing that they are divinely chosen and protected. Their history is a tapestry woven with both joy and sorrow, triumph and defeat. Yet the thread that binds it all together is their unyielding belief in God's promise. This resilience is a beacon of hope, not only for Israel but for all believers who look to their story as an example of faith overcoming adversity. Their survival is not a matter of chance but a testament to divine providence. One cannot speak of Israel's survival without acknowledging the role of Archangel Michael, the guardian of Israel. Throughout the Bible and the annals of history, Michael has been depicted as the divine protector of God's people, standing against the forces of evil that seek to destroy them. From the Babylonian exile to the horrors of the Holocaust, the presence of Archangel Michael has been seen as a key factor in the survival of Israel. His role is not just symbolic but an ongoing reality, with many believers testifying to his intervention during critical moments in history. Michael's protection is viewed as a manifestation of God's enduring promise to watch over his people, no matter the trials they face. The stories of angelic encounters are not confined to the pages of ancient scriptures. In modern times, particularly during Israel's wars, countless reports have surfaced of angels appearing on the battlefield, shielding soldiers from harm and guiding them to safety. These encounters have been described in both religious and secular accounts, often by soldiers who were not particularly religious but who found themselves unable to deny the presence of something beyond the natural world. These angelic interventions serve as powerful reminders that God's protection is not a relic of the past but a present and active force in the lives of His people. Angelic encounters in Jerusalem, in particular, are said to be frequent. The city's spiritual significance makes it a place where the veil between the physical and the spiritual world is thin. Visitors and residents alike have shared stories of divine guidance, protection, and miraculous occurrences that can only be explained by the presence of angels. These experiences remind believers that the God who sent angels to protect Israel thousands of years ago is the same God who sends them today. Angels are not confined to the ancient world, they continue their work in modern times, sometimes visible, sometimes unseen, but always present. This belief in angelic protection extends beyond Judaism and is recognized across the major Abrahamic faiths. Archangel Michael holds a place of honor, not only in Judaism but in Christianity and Islam as well. His role as the protector of God's faithful is a symbol of hope and unity among believers of different faith traditions. In a world often divided by religious conflict, the shared reverence for Michael can serve as a point of connection, fostering understanding and a sense of common purpose. In Christianity, Michael is seen as the warrior who fought Satan and his demons, while in Islam, he is known as the Angel of Mercy. This interfaith recognition of Michael's role offers an opportunity for dialogue and unity among believers, particularly in a city as spiritually charged as Jerusalem. The prophetic significance of Michael is also worth exploring. The Bible speaks of a time when Israel will face great tribulation, leading up to the recognition of the Messiah. Michael's role in these prophecies is crucial, as he is depicted as the one who will stand up for God's people during their most difficult hour. The book of Daniel describes Michael as the protector of Israel during the end times, a figure who will play a key role in the fulfillment of God's ultimate plan for His people. For believers, this is a source of hope. It is a reminder that even in the darkest times, God's protection is assured, and that His angels are fighting on behalf of His people. Michael's name, which means who is like God, is itself a testament to his significance in the divine order. He is not just an angel, he is a warrior who fights for God's glory, defending the faithful against the powers of darkness. His name is a challenge to the forces of evil, a declaration that none can stand against the Almighty. For Christians, Michael is seen as a symbol of spiritual warfare, a reminder that the battles we face are not just physical but spiritual. Ephesians 6 verse 12 reminds us that our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Michael, as the leader of God's angelic army, embodies this truth, showing us that we are not alone in our battles. God has sent His angels to fight on our behalf, and Michael leads them. In light of all this, the role of Archangel Michael is more than just a historical or spiritual curiosity. It is a living reality for believers today. His presence in Jerusalem and throughout Israel is a reminder that God's protection is ever present, and His promises never fail. The stories of angelic encounters, both ancient and modern, reinforce the belief that God is actively involved in the lives of His people, sending His messengers to guide, protect, and deliver them. As believers, we can draw inspiration from the resilience of the Israeli people, their unwavering faith in the face of adversity, and their belief in the protection of Archangel Michael. In our own lives, we face trials that may seem insurmountable, but the story of Israel reminds us that no trial is too great for God. His angels are with us, fighting our battles, shielding us from harm, and leading us on the path He has prepared for us. Jerusalem, the city where heaven meets earth, continues to be a symbol of God's faithfulness. It stands as a reminder that the spiritual and the supernatural are not confined to the past but are alive and active today. The miracles that happened in ancient times continue to happen now, and the angels who protected God's people then are still watching over us. As we look to the future, to the fulfillment of prophecies and the ultimate return of the Messiah, we can do so with confidence, knowing that God's protection is assured, and His angels, led by Archangel Michael, are ever at our side. Let this be our source of hope and motivation as we navigate the challenges of life, trusting in the God who is always faithful, always present, and always protecting.